Justice, notice anything odd? Her testimony keeps changing. Now she says the defendant cheated. Actually, yes, I had noticed that. Let's get the truth about this cheating first, shall we? Right, leave it to me. I don't know what to do. How is cheat is obvious? I don't understand. How was it clear? Well, defendant. He played a fifth ace. A fifth ace? I still remember both hands very well. Mr. Smith's hand had 3 aces. And Mr. Wright's too. Obviously, cheating was a foot, or perhaps I should say, a hand. Your Honor, perhaps this can be added to the testimony without Mr. Payne's joke. Oh, but that was a silly joke. No, I'm saying it's a joke. It's a good joke. Very well, the witness will add this detail to your testimony, please. But I don't... No, spread this anyway. A fifth ace? Duh! It should not exist, no? I still remember both hands very well. Yeah, we know. Well, where would this card come from then? Perhaps we should ask the defendant that very question. Adding cards to the deck is no less serious as a taboo than forging evidence in a court of law. Now, perhaps it's time for you to say something. Justice, you bet. I have no intention of staying quiet. Not me, no sir. He's never quiet, and neither am I. I better find some contradictory evidence fast. I don't see a fifth ace in this photo, do you? Objection! It appears the witness is mistaken. Mistaken? But my name... Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony. That's the photo of the chips, is it not? Justice, perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that the judge can comprehend, because he's not very smart. In other words, use your finger to point out your point, or use a stylus. Yes, please point out the contradiction in this photo. What particular point contradicts the witness's testimony? I'm actually using directional pad, but whatever. Miss Harley, in your testimony, you made the following claim. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. But as you can clearly see, the victim's hand only held 2 aces! Eek! Well, the witness was just simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace in question. Are you blind? Taking a look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant also has 2 aces in his hand. Where's this 5th ace? I see cheating all right, and it's going on right here in this courtroom. I love that line. Okay, I'm being weird. Careful. 2 aces in each player's hand does make 4 aces total. Hardly proof of cheating. Wait, please! It is true! I have seen it! The 5th ace! There was cheating, I swear to you! That's odd. She must be lying, if she's the most sincere I've seen her all day. You're right to trust your instincts. Mr. Gavin? Who knows what lies in store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion. What might that be, Mr. Gavin? If you don't mind, perhaps we might examine the actual cards. The cards. Mr. Payne. Yes? The players' hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court. Very well. The prosecution will submit this evidence. Which will you examine? The victim's cards or the defendant's cards? If these cards don't prove she knows what's going on, nothing will. Now, which of these hands is more suspicious? Well, the victim's hands, right? Because it's different. It was the victim's hand that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. The defense requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards. Very well, Mr. Payne, if you would. Very well. Well, time's wasting. Get to it, Justice. Yes, sir. I'm not moving this for now. When examining evidence, be sure to view it from all sides and angles. Try using the dials on the evidence viewer. That should give you a better perspective on that case. Okay, let's do this. Zooming in, turning left. Ooh, a red car's here. I thought it was blue. The cards' backs are red. For some reason, I thought that they were using blue cards in the final hand. Didn't you, Mr. Gavin? Huh? Oh, which was it now? Yes, let's point the obvious, yeah. So boring. What? Your Honor, look at this! One of the victim's cards. The back is a different color. That's impossible, but I put that card in Wright's hand. Heck! What was that, Miss Orley? No, yet. I merely said, I have eek! Your Honor? Mr. Gavin, yes? Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker? To cheat? I'll tell you. One merely needs a friend. A comrade, shall we say? An accomplice? No. The dealer. Wait, so you mean this witness, Miss Orley, she's a cheater. A professional, I wager. The skills is too epic for my eyes. Whatever. Order! Focus just this time and take advantage of her. I mean, of her mistake. Oh, of course you want to take advantage of her. Okay. Cough. That's so silly. Your Honor, please recall the testimony we just heard. And yeah. Ergo, Miss Orley, Olga Orley. It's a common Russian name or something. Conspired to cheat, not with my client, but with the victim, Mr. Shady Smith. Ooh. Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly. Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim. What? Wait, you don't mean the defense isn't accusing the witness, Miss Orley, are you? Time for justice. There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident, and if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means I am guilty. Yeah, I just love it. The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga Orley, of murder. Apollo, you just killed her. Okay, now that's just even more epic. It falls like that nicely. It's the epic pot of Porsche. Whatever. Mr. Payne, where is your witness, Mr. Olga Orley? It appears she has lost consciousness, Your Honor. Mr. Justice? Your Honor, it seems that you present a new possibility to the court. One suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith. And that means this court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time. What? I did it! I held out! Yay! Even though I didn't win yet, I see no point in prolonging the trial this day. The prosecutors will need to make further inquiries. That voice! Mr. Wright? You can end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet. What nonsense is the defendant spewing now? Think, one of the cards had a different colored back. Don't you wonder what it means? Well, what are you doing, Mr. Wright? We're raising objections right when you're about to get off the hook. Ridiculous! Mr. Payne, you of all people should know, Mr. Wright has a talent for the ridiculous. Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear up the facts about the game that fateful night. As I said before, we alternated between 2 decks of cards that night. That was said before. The 2 decks at the club have different colored backs, blue and red. 1 color per deck. Why use different colored backs? If you use the same color, the 2 decks might get mixed. You use different colors and they still got mixed up. We used the red deck for the last game. I see, but that's odd. For some reason, I have this impression that you were using the blue cards. Yeah, me too. I'm sure someone said something about blue cards. Whatever. In the end, 1 card got the wrong mix got into the mix, which means there was cheating. Yes, the card slipped into the deck was seen to indicate cheating. Yet, this card raised 2 serious questions. Apollo? What is it? Yeah, I'm reading it wrong. Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think, in the last game, when was the card swapped? When? There are 3 broad possibilities here. It could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder. Well, yeah, thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course it was swapped... Oh? It might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne. Or it might not be. I'd like to hear what Paulo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped? When was the card swapped in the deck? Well, it was... during the murder. Kinda... you'd be busy swapping the murder, but why would you do that? But... but why would... if it's during it, someone would notice the different colored backs. You know, because this red and blue is pretty different, pretty big contrast. Let's just say after the murder. Just because. Perhaps it happened after the murder? But what's that? Ridiculous! What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown? That's silly! Yes, but tell me, how do you swap cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible! I take it from me, son. There's a lot of silly in this world, but very little impossible. Oh, even when the backs of the cards are a different color? If you pull that during the game, you'll be caught in no time. Quite true. That would mean that the blue card in question was swapped after the hands were shown after the murder. And also objection. Okay, this is going past silly and straight on to crazy. I ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game's over? Who would do that? Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us. There's another. Yes, a simple yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? What? Who? The game and murder is done. The victim is dead. Only 2 remain in the room. Alive, that is. The defendant, finished right, and our witness, O'Gorley. Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card for blue? It was, but both of them knew about the different colored cards, right? How can they mistaken that? Some silly mistake. Maybe someone else did it. The one who swapped the cards was Mr. Wright, of course. And, well, it doesn't seem like it could have been O'Gorley either. What are you suggesting? That's not a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As a defense, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss Orley at this point. Yes, I know! But she was the one who dealt the cards, right? I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong colored card. And if the card was swapped during the game, it'd be obvious. Evil much, or not? Something you'd like to share with the court, Mr. Wright? Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking how much fun all this is. I know, this is a game, but still. Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. The one who swapped the card wasn't the defendant, and it wasn't Miss Orley. Who was it? Yeah, well, that is the question, isn't it? Precisely. Huh? I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction. A new direction. We'll find that, indeed, after the murder, someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand. And that someone made 2 critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us that the first was swapping the wrong color card. Because the one who did the swap didn't know the 2 colors of cards were being used. I thought I read something wrong there. The other mistake was the number on the card. Right. The person replaced the 5th ace with the king. I'm sure whoever swapped it was expecting there to be a 5th ace after all. All they knew was that the game had been won with a full house, so it must be someone from the outside, I guess. So they picked up a king from the table and swapped it in. But why would they do that? But there's one problem! Sweating. According to our case record, this person doesn't exist. True, not until now, but you have to admit the possibility of a 4th person. Though it's more than a possibility. There was someone else there the night at the scene of the crime. Really? I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials ridiculous, Mr. Wright. Phoenix ridiculous, right? This trial has proceeded on one central assumption, namely that at the time of the incident, there were only 3 people in that room. So it's not going to really the murder. What?